Bad Batch is back. We have one episode left next week until we have to wait till next year because Bad Batch was renewed. Thank God, but episode 15 review coming right now, guys. Spoilers filled, and I can't wait to hear your guys' thoughts down below in the comment section. I know I missed out on last week. I went and saw Suicide Squad early, came back really late, and I was just too exhausted. And when I watched the episode, I was like, not much happened, but it was great setup for this episode in particular, which I loved. And this is, again, what I've been wanting from this show all along. I've just been wanting this story to continue, this brotherly companions, and again, the Bad Batch, and seeing how the Empire is turning, and really much hearing that the show's now been renewed for season 2. I feel like the first season has very much established where the Empire is, and by this episode, in the cliffhanger that it left us on until next week's episode, I'm going to be dying to see it until next week, guys. So make sure to hit that like and subscribe button so we can keep talking the Bad Batch and Star Wars over here on a daily basis, as well as comment down below and let me know your guys' thoughts. If you guys enjoyed the episode, if you didn't, what do you think is going to happen next week? What are your predictions for Season 2? Let's discuss it all down there. Of course, this episode once again picks up directly right after last week's episode where Crosshair has captured Rambo himself, Hunter. And our main Bad Batch squad is trying to figure out how we can possibly go about it. But of course, Crosshair takes Hunter back to where it all began, Kamino. And I really like the parallels in this episode because, in a sense, the whole show, and in general, the clones were made on Kamino. But as well as this show, where it started at was Kamino. We even see the damn same facility where they kind of were tested at their stances to see if they were true to the Empire and if they were be worthy. And, you know, and that's where the Empire kind of got their first view on the clones and their combat trials with, of course, the Dark Trooper-looking droids, which I always think is cool to see them. But for me, I really like those parallels throughout this entire episode, and especially to the first episode, and also just the entire journey for the clones. And one of the big things that really stuck out persistently inside this episode, in general, almost all of Star Wars animation, but really much, Kevin Kiner's score needs to be really much realized in here, and how beautiful it is, and serenading, and honestly quite emotional. One of the things that really got me emotional was seeing Crosshair back with Hunter and his group, and finding out the big twist that, holy shit, Crosshair has been doing this by himself. It's not his inhibitor chip. Which now leads questions is, when did he get that out? When didn't he? He's been acting on the Empire this entire time. How loyal he is. I think for me, there's some big things in there where I'm just like, God, that's an emotional. But seeing him fight with his crew once again, and then taking out the other stormtroopers inside that kind of facility and part of his squad, was again something I was so happy, and I was like, oh, is he making the twist? And now he still wants to work for the Empire. But I'm hopefully at this point he maybe will realize, oh no, the Empire just didn't care about me. They just tried to kill me right now. But, you know, kind of heading to this planet, Omega takes him to this little secret hideout, gets him onto Kamino hiddenly, and they take this underground thing where we do learn a little bit more, where she did see the creation of the Bad Batch themselves and how they were really much experimented on. They weren't just accidents. They were made to be like this, which now puts that idea out there of, are there more of them like that? Are there other secret cloning facilities? Are there other members of the Bad Batch that could potentially be out there? Is that maybe where Boba was conceived? Maybe. But all these questions kind of run around where I'm curious again to see where they might take this in Season 2. And I think they're establishing these questions and these answers right now towards the back half to maybe become a very fulfilling next season. Because, like I've said, I've enjoyed Bad Batch overall. There have been some amazing episodes that have, again, brought in some great characters, Cad Bane, Fennec, and even some other great returning characters like Rex, and even seeing where other ones came about to be. But one of the biggest things that is that it has felt a little bit meandering. Mission here, get money here, explore the little world of the Empire, changing it, but nothing too much to that. And, you know, honestly, Clone Wars and Rebels have those moments where some of the first seasons were very slow. And I'm hoping with Bad Batch now kind of turning back that, I'm hoping Season 2 will be able to kind of continue that momentum that this episode really much left on. And I'm assuming the season finale will also leave upon us, which I'm just, again, really much excited to see where that all goes. But, once again, the Bad Batch, they go up, and they're confronted by Crosshair, who really much Crosshair and Hunter's relationship throughout this entire episode was probably some of the strongest elements that we've felt throughout this entire show. Even again, paralleling to when we first saw them in this entire show, they're both side by side in how important they are, and their relationship and that brotherly love that we've felt from the Bad Batch since we first met them back in Clone Wars season 7 has been so important. And again, I emotionally was really invested with them, and I just want Crosshair back on their side, and I'm hoping maybe he'll realize like the Empire really isn't all that. And that's all I can really hope. You know, they did pick him up, they saved him, but as they're running out, the whole base is getting destroyed, and that's where it ends at. It was nice to see that Omega's little droid survive, though. I was happy to at least view that, but there's a lot of questions in here. This is definitely going to be a fight for survival at the end of this season, and I'm going to say it right here. I do think we will lose a member of the Bad Batch next week, and part of me feels like it might be Hunter. I don't want it to be, but part of me thinks that might be Hunter, and seeing how Crosshair really much feels that his brothers abandoned him honestly makes it even a little bit more sadder, because in their eyes they didn't. They feel like Crosshair abandoned them, and I feel like there's that communication. But if Hunter was to able maybe sacrifice himself, maybe Crosshair will turn back around. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's Wrecker. Maybe no one dies. Fingers crossed for that. But I do think that we will probably get a very sad ending next week, and I want to hear your guys' thoughts, your theories, all sorts of things down below in the comment section. So once again, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, comment down below, let me know any other Easter eggs that I might have missed, and just in general, seeing the destruction of Kamino is emotional in its own right, because it's been such a big staple of, again, Clone Wars and Bad Batch and just the Star Wars universe in general. It's one of the most iconic locations in all of the galaxy. So it's really, this was a hard one. This was a hard episode, but I overall really enjoyed it, guys, and I can't wait to read your guys' thoughts. So, of course, until next time, stay classy.